always link things to.
Okay.
It's part of one of your superpowers, your coincidence mining power.
Right.
Good.
So I'm gonna remove this read.ai. It keeps coming. It's because nobody's here.
I think Gina is one of the read AIs.
Is read.ai yours?
You feel free to kick it out.
Oh no, if it's yours, we can keep it. But there's like, when it doesn't have a name, I don't know who it is. So then I usually remove it because I don't know who is sending their AI to kind of listen to us. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think like by default, mine always gets added, so I need to change the setting.
Just change the name. So it doesn't
Okay.
say read.ai. It says like a Gina does whatever. Because you see how like everybody says like, because I see Gina's autopilot. So you have autopilot already. So I'm not sure why you have read.ai. So I'll remove that for now and then.
Okay.
Just
Thank you.
Cool. Yeah. So I suggested that the international copyright for AI would be headquartered in Seoul, and I say to them that if they want to lead this and make it happen, I'll help them, but they cannot rely on me doing it. I'm tapped out. I can't do like.
Okay.
I can just give whatnot. So
we will help you do it. We will arrange it. We will Mr. Cool and I could arrange something to be happening in Seoul.
Local professor who can act as a chair, so we can open it in the IEEE as like a subsection for IEEE, the same way we did for the international protocols for AI security. And one professor, I think he's more than capable of that. He's professor in computer science. I think George is coughing. Is that you, George? Oh, it's okay.
I hope I didn't.
Yeah. So yeah, that's so then if they were to proceed with that, they're going to need a lot of help. The reason why you would need an international copyright for AI because AI is borderless, and it's just there's a lot of things that if somebody is trying to protect from one side and not the other. So currently, governments are taking this approach where if it's created by AI, then you cannot copyright it.
Okay.
So the attack vector to that would be like, so let's say Young-Suk creates like AI herself, create art herself, okay? But then Nara decides to attack her, and then Nara uses her own AI to kind of prove that Young-Suk created that using AI. Because once the art is created, you can actually use AI to kind of make it seem as if AI did create it. And at that point, now, if Young-Suk applied for copyright somewhere and she received it, then she gets delisted because now it's somebody saying that it is created by AI. And Nara doesn't really have to even disclose her own persona to do that. She can just put certain signals out there that they can actually signal to the copyright office that is some sort of AI that actually created it. So anyway, my point is that they should not be discriminating against AI. And if they were to open office, it's actually my suggestion to separate. There would be copyright for AI, and then there should still be copyright for Homo sapiens. So if we were to have a copyright, international copyright for AI, it would be in Seoul, and we can help them out. And I think this could result in having another JV with Hypercycle. But now that we have everyone, and we were not talking about Hypercycle so much, I'd like to introduce you all. I'm not sure if you've noticed that there's a new face. Minister Ku is joining us as an ambassador for Asia. And Minister Ku, would you like to say a couple of words and introduce yourself? I think you're on mute.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if you can hear us. Minister Ku, hello?
Yes, yes. I
Yeah. So
Okay.
I was
Good.
just thinking that you're joining us as ambassador for Asia,
Yes.
and that there will be a lot of other synergies above and beyond that, which we can introduce the other aspects to the team and all that later, the things that we've discussed a few days ago. But for now, I think if you would like to introduce yourself, that would be fantastic.
Okay, I got it. Yeah. But anyway, I don't have much knowledge about the AI. But anyway, from now on, I have to study the Hypercycle and other appliances. Yeah, and then I will do my best. Okay, to be best as an Asian or as a world.
Or world, yeah. Yes. Yeah. So we can have that copyright IEEE in Seoul office and Gyeongbuk office if you would like to have it. So you can spread it.
Sure. We can bring back that conversation
Okay.
separate. I think there's three different things. One is Minister Ku join us as an ambassador, so welcome. And I'm not sure if you can see all the faces here. This is one of the meetings that each and every one of us we would would turn the camera on because it's important for the speaker to kind of see that the others are listening and whatnot. So thank you once again for joining us, and it's awesome to see what we can do together. The number two thing that Minister Ku and I discussed a few days ago is a potential acceleration for the business and distribution for one of our subsidiary, if you wish, the Hyper Appliance. We can table that and tell you all about it once we've gone a little bit further in that discussion, which is likely to happen next Sunday. I'm going back to Seoul on Saturday, and we're meeting on Sunday.
Yes.
By the way, we still have to, I don't know which address, but I think I'm going to be at Siniel, and they do have office, because our office, we used to have an office in that building, so I'm not sure if this is what you would like, or wherever you're comfortable, we'll meet there on Sunday. So okay, so that's that on intro, and perhaps we can go quick round here. Some of you might have some major updates that you'd like to tell us all. If you don't speak voluntarily, I'm going to ask you. Okay, well then I can start. Perhaps I can ask Bianca, do we have the video yet for the hackathon?
No, we don't have the video just yet. I talked to Brandon though. We should be having that in maybe in like the next week or a few days.
Fantastic, that's great. And I think is Ibi here?
She's still working on the website, Tufi.
Okay. So we've had an incident a few days ago when I think I was live with Nick Black and his team, his entire audience, and at the same time I was getting actually calls from Ibi and the team and whatnot that there's some of our websites, they were under attack, and then of course I've learned from the best, George Bush, when they told him, hey, the Twin Tower under attack, and I'm like, oh, okay, And so I kind of gave that face as well, as if everything is fine. But I think if you were to watch the video very closely, you would notice that at some point I was like a little bit moved. but yeah, at the same time, I actually looked up the DNS, and it was not a DNS problem. But I think these issues have been resolved, and I think it was mainly on Hyper AI Box.
Goofy, at least you were not holding the book upside down. So.
Oh, sometimes I do that actually too. Okay, yeah, so yeah, and then shortly after, well, immediately after, I jumped with Richie, and we started something that we're going to be doing every month at the last Monday of every month, and it's we're calling it Hypercycle ... 24. We're still going to have to merge the audio to share with you the video, because we did it on 2 platforms at the same time. So we had the audio platform, the Discord, and then we did the actual Zoom. Maybe next time we can have this done a little bit better from video perspective, but we still have to merge that.
Why
If
that?
anyone has skills in actually editing videos, it's about an hour. We'll send you both the video and the sound, and you can do it. I mean, it's easy peasy. It's not that hard. I can do it. It's just sometimes I don't want to be the bottleneck and tell you that we'll do it, and it takes forever.
Why that name to? Why Hypercycle ... 24? What does it mean?
Okay, so we explain what we explain what the 24 means, but we don't tell anyone what the ... is. We keep that as a mystery, and when people they watch the very first 12 episodes, they will discover what the ... So every month is going to be one, and then the ... gets to be discovered. The next month
we have to watch the video to know what. Okay.
What's that?
So you're saying we have to watch the video, then we will learn.
You have to watch all 12 videos.
All 12 videos, okay.
Yes. Yes. But then there's a prize. What we'll be doing in so those there will be like about an hour episode, and we will have dedicated about half an hour where we can go through each and every one of you every month, different, just so we can introduce some of you to several communities, and I think it would be great. And if you haven't yet, I think would be nice to watch that video that Nick shared. It has some good content that I think would be useful. And now I'll move to Phil. Phil, I know that you have been busy, and I joined some of the calls that you've been having with the teams here. How was your project?
Hey, hi everyone. It's been really fun week for me. Can I share a slide?
Yes,
okay.
You can.
So I'm calling from Australia, but I'm based in Singapore, so I'm going back to Singapore next week. Last week, I met up with a lot of the team, Robert, Tudor, Jerry. So very fun. Get to learn a lot of things. And among other things, the whole excitement here is how do we get the momentum going, for our Hypercycle project, and really start to scale crazily, right? So that's really what we are gunning for. And to do that, I think after some thought, wow, if we can duplicate Tufi, right, into 1,000 different pockets, that would be so exciting, whether it's inspiring newbies, engaging PhDs, or share vision with investors. So in your style, in your words.
That's
okay. Yeah. So at this moment, thank you for test driving the service for HyperTufi. We have Jack and Matt. We are also working together to put all the database so that it's synced. We have also met up with Singularverse and Twin Protocol from the Singularity Net side. and we have figured out who you'll be communicating to. So we are training the AI now to do it, and I'll post the link again later, especially for some of, like, Minister, if you are new, it'd be wonderful if you can test drive it. Fresh pair of eyes is always great. You know, you can ask it any questions you want. Okay, so this is the Hypertrophy. We answer both basic to difficult questions, and we are trying to do it the way that Tufi does things. So that's pretty much strategy one. Jerry also gave a very interesting suggestion last week. How can advisors' social media to be used, you know, for marketing, right? To bring this awareness to all our bases, right? So give it some thought, came up with this idea for everyone's agreement and feedback and guidance. The idea here is to do a social media hyperbite weekly, short text and picture contents. Advisors can deploy in your own social media at your own time. You create all the material, modular, and it builds up to explain the value of Hypercycle, right? Everyone, please meet Tufi. So the idea here is we will draft a bunch of text that is social media friendly, right? So you can choose to copy and post it, you know, the content at your own discretion, with your own contextualization, your own language, right, for your own base. And then what we'll do is we will put in a series of topics. So, like, firstly, you know, who is Tufi? You know, the total IP, Hypercycle, Singularity.net. Then about AGI, why is AGI inevitable? And what is the majority opinion when we get there? What's the implication of it being owned by just a few companies, right? And why regulating AGI will simply not work, game theory, and, you know, counterproductive, etc. So I'll be going through the content for verification with Robert, with everyone before this becomes real, right? So how AGI will affect the individual, those you care for in your career. You know, how can you play a role? You know, whether you're node license owner, AI developers, facility owners, hardware owners, HyperPC token suppliers. So punchy forms, you know, explain in advisors' own words, the structure. You know, what is the kind of return, you know, if you do invest in this? You know, what is the benefit, you know, of you doing this, right? And then how do you get started? So kind of this is a basic 101 kind of thing for Hypercycle. We have put together all the content, and we will be going through this, you know, a lot of volume of stuff to keep it really simple, easy to understand, easy bite-sized kind of material. Okay. So we have put together a whole message house, but that's for another day's discussion. But hopefully by next week, the first Hyperbite should come out for advisors. But really love to hear from everyone what you think about it. And Jerry, thanks. That's your idea. It started with you.
Somebody asked a question, how many licenses have we sold in total for now? I think we're close to about 291,000 licenses. And that would be inclusive of all the big data centers that they are likely to be just geared towards demand. So on the demand side of things, we will be having some early tech meetings next week. I've informed Dan, and he's probably getting the team geared up on that, which would be super awesome, because remember what we have promised everyone in the community, that we're setting up all the supply, and then when the demand is ready, we can spend 18 months or whatnot. But it seems like the demand is driving us to accelerate that. And I really think that if we get that plugged in early next year, January or whatnot, or even sooner. It seems like they're really, really anxious to get it done sooner. It would be fabulous. Now, why would we worry about the demand? Well, our customers, if we worry about our customer success and we get them to be successful, then we will be successful. And our customers, they need that demand, otherwise they're not going to buy more software from us and not going to need a token. Like, remember, we're selling B2B, but they need to be able to get that demand channeled. So it's looking really good. And on Hyper Appliance, Evan, any word on that? Did you receive all the devices?
Yeah, I have a meeting with Dr. Yanko later today. Looks like all the devices have been flashed to this point, so we're probably ready to ship first batch at least mid next week. Just solidifying some partnership relationships with shipping companies in the UK. We did have that hiccup, like you mentioned, on the website, but Ibby did a great job with taking it down right away, and she's working on rebuilding it furiously. So I've no doubt she's on her way to building that back up and having it live by Friday. So that's good news. I'm going to be attending a conference to kind of launch the box and get some excitement around it going, get some promo. I'm going to be doing a 20-minute talk, and we're going to be having a booth in conjunction with Planet Computers. It's at the end of November and early December in London at the Olympia Center. Can't remember exactly what it's called. I'm trying to look it up right now. Edge Computing Expo. So if anyone's in town, and
we're in town, Evan. You'll have to come and see us then.
Definitely.
When are you arriving?
No, you guys need to go and see him.
We need to come see him.
I think it's November 28th, and then I'll be leaving on like December 3rd.
Oh man.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to catch up at some point.
I might be able to make it. I'd love to see you going up on stage and doing that. So
yeah, that'd be fun.
That would be great. And after Sunday, Evan, when I meet with Minister Koo and the team that is bringing, then you and I can catch up, and I can brief you on that, because maybe it would be it's some great news that will be coming your way on a Hyper Appliance. So
that's great. Yeah, good to see you on the call, Mr. Koo. Minister Koo. It was great talking to you a few days ago. That was a pleasure.
Yeah, good to see you. Okay.
Yeah, thank you. That's about it from my end.
Awesome. Mario has joined us, but I don't think he's on camera. Mario, would you like to tell us anything about some of the exchanges or whatnot? Because I saw that you were trying to get some exchanges on.
Yeah. Give me 1 second. I'll put the camera on shortly. But did a round of catch up with exchanges, before the wedding. So 2-3 weeks ago, I will be following up with them. It's good to see obviously the price stability and resilience to volatility. The market has improved generally. Let's say some of the feedback from the ones that have engaged around token holders growth numbers, as we discussed at length. These are sort of counterparties that with a very fixed way of. Can you see me now? Yeah. With a very fixed way of looking at things. So I got a nice kind of blurb that I used to engage with them, but I'm gonna be engaging with the marketing team and some of you to maybe get some other material to show the power of what Hypercycle is doing, on the product and network side, and so on and so forth, to continue the engagement in on those conversations. Here, the goal, obviously,
on-chain economy is quite decent. The pools are pretty large. The staking and farming have been working well, and now soon we will be having on-chain activity for the nodes operations. So that's very good. We have devised a plan around also improvement of exchanges liquidity that obviously goes through exchange listings and onboarding of certain new partners on that. So the plan here would be to try to improve liquidity across the board as soon as possible. So yeah, again, I mean, I think the main feedback was from their perspective, just kind of token holders growth numbers with vesting. As vesting starts, those should increase, at least with the ones that we actually have already. Number one. Number two, we can present them better because we also have stakers. So I think that if somebody takes a little bit longer to look into token economy, the numbers are bigger. And then, so that's point taken, and then we can think with marketing on how to cosmetically improve that or organically improve that. And instead, the takeaway that I had is some bytes content. So for example, what was just shown was great, although we need to take a little bit of a different view, but some bytes content on what Hypercycle is doing in a way that they can consume with their goldfish attention span, just to make them understand the power of Hypercycle.
Nice. John, you're still in Shanghai, right?
Actually, no, I'm sitting right next to Mario.
Oh, okay. So you okay? Went there.
Yeah.
Mario, you've been married for 4 weeks now. Are you still married?
That's hilarious.
That seems like
looks like
maybe.
it. Yeah, amazing, huh? Achievements.
Right. Cool. And not sure if there's any major updates, Charlie, Steven, you've been working on, or with, or have you?
We've been having lots of conversations, trying to catch up with everybody. So I had a good chat with Dan yesterday, and just came off a call with George. So we're just kind of feeling our way around outside of the marketing, which we're going to be talking to Evan and Matt about in about an hour or 2 hours, and we're going to get a kind of handle on when we're going to launch that. But outside of that, we had a very interesting conversation with George about photovoltaic facilities around the world and in LATAM, and seeing if we can open a few doors there. I also spoke with Bianca last week because all of the hackathon stuff reminded me that one of our good friends is a woman called Sarah Landry. We both used to work with years ago, and she runs a kind of hackathon business that was touring LATAM called TH.0, I think it was. And Bianca had said that her and Ibby were actually looking at that. So potentially connecting Bianca with Sarah. So we're trying to make some moves and just understand where we can add our value, which is going to be immeasurable, I'm sure. And outside of that, we're planning to build a pretty amazing marketing campaign for Hyper AI Box and Hyper Appliance, and hopefully other parts of the Singularity Net group as well.
Nice.
Yeah.
And Daria, you were working on Core Excel. Have you worked with any team that pushing that website or whatnot?
No, actually, I just made a logo, and that's quite it. I haven't been caught of it yet.
You know, Matt, Jack, you know if anybody's working on that, or?
I haven't heard.
No.
I think that was definitely next, but with the frantic nature of this week and trying to fix the current website issues, I think it got pushed back a little bit. But Ibby is aware of it. I think she's building a team or resources around it.
Cool. So just so you all know, Core Excel is the company that we incorporated in South Korea about 4 months ago, and we already have 7 portfolio companies under it, and we're likely to be rolling a few more. Is Tudor on this? Tudor didn't make it on this call, but and there's a lot of progress that perhaps Tudor can update you on next week. I just noticed something interesting that Tudor, who is the acting CEO for Core Excel, still until now hasn't met the CTO for Core Excel. And I've noticed that when we're actually sitting for lunch with Minister Gu, because the CTO was with me, and I'm like, oh, shoot, I forgot to introduce them. So
that's really funny.
Right. But I think they've been working in kind of like parallel in tandem, and they're not obstructing each other, so that's fine. All right. Well, any updates?
I'll just mention that we demoed the licensed DApp to Matt and Jack yesterday from the engineering side. We're going to be handing that over to them and training them up on that next week so that they can then educate all of our users on how to use that licensed app. And Swap V2 is coming along well. I think there was some minor issue with the audit, but Rob took care of that. And it looks like we've got a clear runway for launching Swap V2 as well. So we'll be bringing that out probably the week after next. We'll push that over to Matt and Jack. Get them trained on it so that they can start educating people on how to use that.
Yeah, thanks, Dan. And also, Tufi, we are going to initiate our own Hyper Squad program today. The Hyper Squad program is a program that will gather all the community members on Telegram that are providing great value to the other community users, because we need help on that side to not only promote Hypercycle but also educate the people in there. And since we have like 8K users on Telegram, we believe with Matt this is good that we get some help from the community members themselves. So we have onboarded a first candidate who is called Raymond. He's an active user of the ADA community also, so he's used to providing some value to many other communities. He's also using the pools on ADA. He's also a node validator, so he's a really good candidate, and he's agreed to being part of the first Hyper Squad. So we will announce it today.
And it's also really nice because we have like a few people in the community who are really like passionate about Hypercycle, and like it's really nice to help them as well step up and help us better, because there is nothing better than getting our community to do the marketing for us, right? And so this is like a very solid program that we're super happy starting.
Cool.
Just may I ask how can we get involved in that? I mean, will we be on? Is it going to be a Telegram group? Is it what kind of platform will it be?
Yeah. So those are some people that we found in our Telegram community, and we created basically like a Telegram group with them where like for now we only have one, but we have also like 2 other candidates, and basically their role is going to help us like moderating. We're also going to like ask them sometime to like help us create announcements for us, or like some small task basically. And they get like a small contribution each month, right? Like I think it's something about like $450. And so they just help Hypercycle, but they're already passionate about Hypercycle.
Will we be able to see that flow of discussions going on?
You mean the internal group where we discuss with them?
Yeah.
No problem.
I mean, I'd love to be part of that conversation. I mean, just to see what is being talked about, how it's referred to, and I think it will be helpful to all of us, frankly.
Yeah, no worries. Just like I will organize that. No problem.
Tufi, I don't know if you're there, but
Yes, I am. I was just refilling water. I drink a lot of water.
okay. All right. Just, I mean, from my side, I'm going to be in Dubai sometime in November. I will be at the United Nations E-Trade conference early part of December in Geneva, and I'm speaking at an AI conference in Muscat in Oman at the end of January, and I'm supposed to spend 20 minutes talking about AI today and tomorrow, and I will try to plug in, of course, Hypercycle. We'll talk about how to bring that into that context. I'm thinking that I will address it in how technology is transforming and what are new technologies that are going to revolutionize AI, and then I will talk about Hypercycle and that.
Nice. Mario, is it time to discuss, we have Jackson here as well. Is it time to discuss some of the spread that we want to do by utilizing some of the guys like the Turpins and others, or should we wait until it's finalized this week? And maybe we can bring it to everyone next week.
Yeah, let's talk about it on Friday.
Okay, so we'll finalize it on Friday then.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Because Jackson's gonna help with that, so then it would be nice because he's kind of like on the inside with us, so it would be cool.
Yeah, 100%.
The model seems to be looking better and better, but it's effectively the goal here is very well aligned with what I have said to Phil, but it's another channel to get to that goal. So the goal that Phil asked me, what's the goal in 3 months if you were to put it in numbers? And currently there's 3,600 HYPC holders in the world, and I think it would be nice if it's 7,200 in 3 months, because we need to get to 3.6 million in 2 years. So we need to have like an exponential formula. So so that's one of the reasons why we're doing this. But of course, like there's a lot of things around it. We can discuss it more in details next week. Nick asked about the audit status, and I think Dan answered, which is great. So I think we should be good to go with that other smart contract. And it would be nice, Dan, since you're answering there, I don't know if you have it handy. If you don't, just send it to me at some point, and then we can share it with Brandon, because Brandon, he wants the code, and I told him just wait until the audit is finished, so then we can send you, because through audit sometimes the code changes, and I didn't want to send him many different versions. Right. So if you have the GitHub, just please send it over, and I will share it with Brandon.
Do you want to connect Brandon with me? I can then add him to that GitHub repo so that he can read it.
Yeah, no, that would be great. Yeah, no, because the stuff that they're doing. Some of you have asked, and I've given answers on the video with Nick. If you have not watched that video, I need to clarify it again, and I think it makes sense to many of you how beneficial it is to actually have the OTC that we have currently with that Nick has. And if you think about it from a bird's eye view for almost any market, whether it is the NASDAQ or whether it is a crypto market or whatnot, folks, they like to corner the entire market in a way that they can tell you that, okay, well, if you don't have volume, then you're going to have a lot of fluctuation, so you have to have the volume. In order to have the volume, it has to be kind of organic, but we all know 99% of the volume is not organic. And I think, if anything, Mario would tell you that, and Marcello and whatnot. So what does that mean? Like, they kind of get you to do those cycles just to create volume, which means it pays them more fees, transaction fees, so because they're cornering the market. So we don't want to fall for that trap, and I feel like what we've done with, or what Nick has done with the OTC is kind of helping tremendously, and it seems like many people, they think that, oh, so is that the only way that you can go and exchange HYPC? And the answer is like, no, it's not. Like, this is like an added way that it's like, it's as decentralized as it can be. In fact, you can go and list any HYPC there for whatever price, and if somebody buys it, somebody buys it. Or you can go and list what you want to buy it for, and if somebody wants to sell it, and it's effectively doing a great service. And if others, they're doing something like that, they're welcome to do so. So at each and every one, they need to do like their own marketing and all of this stuff. So yeah, that's hopefully that can also help getting it in the hands of 7,200 in 3 months. And of course, we want to get the licenses in the hands of as many people as possible. So if any one of you is not clear on what trajectory that you're working, or any one of your team, because many of you's got some teams working with you, just let us know, or just I think watch that Nick's video from yesterday, and Richie's video as well when it comes out, because we're doing that edit. We still have 11 minutes, so I want to make sure that Thomas, you probably have some update to us all, because Thomas is the ambassador for North America.
Yeah. So after our last week's call, I had a call with Evan, and we went over some ideas for actually creating a series of videos on use cases for Hypercycle that we're going to want to produce sometime in the future. I just thought I'd add this in, though. I finished the audio book on Walter Isaacson's book on Elon Musk. And towards the end, they were talking about how he really wants to get into the AI world in a big way. And he was looking at what type of data he could add to an AI system that nobody else has. And there's two things that he figured that he could add. One was all the Twitter feeds, which is, he's got over a trillion tweets that he can add. And then the other is that he has cameras on all of the Tesla cars that have been sold, and they record all of the data about all the moves that drivers make and everything. And so his idea is to use his AI system to drive the autopilot, the driverless car technology that's going to be coming out in the future. And I just thought that becomes a different way of looking at AI that we don't spend much time thinking about. So I thought that was interesting.
Very interesting. How long are you staying in Seoul, by the way?
Till the 11th.
Okay, so I'll see you when I come back, I guess. That's great. We'll touch base.
Yeah.
Yeah, Sunday at 2:00. I include you, Tom, for our meeting with Evan and Minister Koo and everybody. Sunday. But
Sunday.
yeah.
Okay.
Thanks so much. And Marcello, anything in your world?
Yeah, all good. Been conferencing hardcore here in Dubai, making a lot of connections, spreading the good Hypercycle word, and visiting also some data center, which is something that I would like to discuss with you, Tufi. if you have 10 minutes after this call. I also would like to find out how did it go in New York with Alexis, and basically strategize a couple of introductions that I would like to make to you, but specifically with that with my friends who are head of blockchain labs, respectively, in LA at the UCLA and in London at the UCL. So potentially there could be some synergies there with the data science students as well.
Yeah, cool. Well, I mean, with Alexis, I think we should connect her with Ibi and Jack and Matt, because she asked for that, and Alexis can do a great job with her team. So I think that would be fantastic. Subsequently, I'd like her to meet Phil as well.
Okay. So that was a good.
If within the next week, perhaps. Speaking of meetings, perhaps like Alexandre and Matt and Jack, perhaps you can meet with Minister Ku at some point, because it would be nice if he kind of sees what is the trajectory, what you're working on, and of course, Nara. I mean, you probably already stopped organizing it when you saw him coming in, and because you're. So if you don't know Minister Ku's email, I think I'm happy to share, but I think you would see it in the invite. Is that cool, Minister Ku? So Nara, who's the executive on BizDev, along with Alexander Hayek, who's with us, who's waving. They will be meeting with you along with Matt and Jack to kind of guide you through the whole process of Ambassador Program.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'll get in touch.
And you will see some examples here. I'm not sure if our Korean Satoshi is already on board and ready to give some updates for the last week for Asia. But if
Yes, I'll be happy
cool.
to.
All right.
Yeah,
go ahead.
so I'm getting myself into the group of Hypercycle. So far, like in terms of community aspect, I see that when I type Hypercycle on Naver, which is the Google for Koreans, I see the information scattered everywhere, and there aren't enough educational resources. So what I'm trying to do now is make a dedicated blog for Hypercycle, organize the material so that people could just go and read about it. Because you would be surprised a lot of Koreans don't speak English. So right now I'm doing that. Also, I'm having Tufi on some of the Korean native YouTube and podcast channels. So you could be there and like explain the product, because they have quite a reach, like 100K followers. A lot of people being, like Gen Zs and millennials. So I think the contents would be relevant. And if there's like enough noise within the community, I think it's likely for us to, like, it would help us to get listed and exchanges like Upbit. Like you'd be like, Korea is the top 5 when it comes to the crypto volume. So I would want us to see listed on Upbit eventually. So I think this is like a nice way to warm up and create meaningful.
Nice.
Yeah.
And so in Hong Kong, I have 2 meetings tomorrow and 1 meeting on Friday. But other than that, so if you have anything for me on let me know. It would be nice to meet with folks, and
For sure.
it would be nice as well.
Yeah,
And
I'm in Hong Kong right now, so let's connect.
awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. And Robert and Rob, thanks again for the effort in working on getting those audits out of the way. Anything you'd like to say?
Before we go, if you allow me, I want to congratulate you and Nick on your video, last video. Truly amazing, and especially you discussed very important issues. And as Nick said, you went beyond answering the questions to giving details, especially about the types of tokens and all of that. I wanted to say that the website is looking better than it did before. I like the text a lot more that we have now, and wanted to congratulate also Philip on you the what do you call it, the Tufi. I like the different expressions that you were able to produce in that, and
Tufi.
Hyper Tufi. It makes it very, very engaging. So I mean, I think wanted to recognize everybody for what they're doing.
Thanks, I appreciate it. Nick, any final taker before we move to Jerry?
No, I mean, I think everything's great. We've been doing a lot of promotions lately towards getting our community ingratiated with the Hypercycle community. We have a lot of people that are involved in other crypto assets. So we did like our kind of Halloween promotion. I think we got about 300 new node license owners through that. So that worked out well. Yeah, everything's good.
Cool. And Richie, I can't wait to share our video with folks when we fix that sound, because I really think we're up to something there with those like monthly thing, because I think sometimes they can answer a lot of the questions, but at the same time they can keep us on trajectory, and I really think that is bringing a little bit more cohesiveness. Would you like to say anything, Richie, before we get to Jerry?
Just I've got the audio, so I'll whiz it over to you at some point today, and then if we can try and get someone to patch those two things together, then it's ready to go and we can share it. But other than that, everything's good. I think making good progress on things this end. So nothing further to add now. Thanks.
I can just add really quickly that the top team from the BlockHack hackathon last week, we're moving forward with a hyper appliance internship for them, and we're setting them up a connection with one of our developers. So that's moving forward.
That's awesome. Such good news. Well, that's great. I can't wait to actually get you guys updated after Dan and we talked to the demand that is coming next week. I know that I've mentioned the name of that company, which is like Wombo AI, but please don't share it outside of this group. We need to keep it hush hush, because they're basically bringing us 75 million users from demand. This is it's going to be ginormous. All right, Jerry, the floor is yours.
Well, hello, everyone. My name is Jerry Victor Hall, and this is your Hypercycle update from Costa Rica. Been working with the marketing team. We've added some content to our advisor kit. We have a ready to go, ready to print trifold brochure, which I think is going to be very helpful. And not just for me personally in Latin America, but for any of us here. And wanted to take a quick second and welcome Minister Koo. It's always great to have another person on the team getting the message out. And aside from the Blockchain Week in Costa Rica that's coming up, I just wanted to take a second and acknowledge how grateful I am personally to be a part of this team, not just because I'm amongst some incredibly brilliant people and it's adding value to my experience, but to be a part of something that potentially can be like a chapter in history, right? And so I know we're all busy. We're doing a million different things, but I just wanted to take just a second as we end this call today for all of us to just absorb the magnitude of where we're going and what we're doing, and we're doing this together. This is going to be something we're going to remember, most likely, as a major chapter in our lives, whichever part of your life history you're in, whether you're one of the younger folks and this is a relatively new chapter in your life, or you're like me and you're kind of getting towards the end. This is going to be a wonderful ride, and I would be remiss if I didn't take a moment and let you know how grateful I am that I'm doing it with you people. And as we say in Costa Rica, when we say goodbye or say hello, we mean it with love. Pura vida from Costa Rica.
Thanks so much. I can echo that and more, and love having you all. And it's been a great ride, and there's a lot more to come. So very well said. We're 2 minutes above schedule, so we'll end it here. We'll see you all next Wednesday, and we will likely start the Monday as well, if not next week. Phil and I will let you know, because Phil is gonna try to help organize that, because the team is expanding, and eventually we're gonna have the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, right? So the competition is on, and I think it would be nice to start seeing you guys more than once a week, and it would be exciting when we get to the 3 times a week and we get to the finish line, all of us together. Thanks once again. Take care, guys.
Bye, man. Bye,
everyone.
Hey, Tufi, can I keep you
Bye
for
bye.
5 minutes? Tufi?
Yes, wait. How am I gonna do this? Can you see me still? Can you
You
hear
can
me?
see you, but just want to tell you, Tufi, we really need to catch up whenever you can.
Okay. I know I am.
Sufi, just to echo that, we really need to catch up with me now.
Everybody needs to catch up with you.
Okay. Because I have a meeting that already started. So if you guys don't mind, I think what I'm gonna say to folks that I'm going to be, just give me one moment. Okay, so I'm going to say to folks that I'm going to be 15 minutes late, and then we can do maybe like 5 minutes here and there. That's.
No, don't worry about me. I'll catch up with you, later on. But just whenever you can, you need to spend a few minutes. Maybe Sunday. But it's been a long time we haven't talked. It's been like 2 weeks now.
Right. Because I missed you guys this Sunday.
Yeah. And the one before we talked about something else, so we didn't catch up on Hypercycle. But there are things to talk about, especially. That Nara and I have been talking to advisors, and we need to update you on conversations and things like that.
Okay, cool. So we'll do that. Thanks again, and I think Marcello, would you like to go next, or is it one-on-one?
Oh, it's okay. I mean,